Cherry Creek Radio has been furnished a fee for the following program.
The following program does not reflect the views and opinions of Cherry Creek Media.
You know I'm a dreamer. My dreams came true. Keller Williams, I owe it all to you. I'm on my way. I bought a home, home sweet home. Just one more night, and I'm coming off this long and winding road. I'm on my way. I have a new home, home sweet home. Thanks, Keller Williams, I love my dream home.
You're tuned to Home Sweet Home. And now, here's Russ McClellan.
Hey, good Saturday morning to you. Welcome to Home Sweet Home with Russ McClellan on this beautiful Saturday morning. That's me. As always, we're having fun in the COVID land. What is going on, people? How are you doing? Sometimes you just love living in Washington State, don't you? It's beautiful, the sun's shining, the river's running, the lakes are crystal clear. But sometimes, you know, not to be political, because that's kind of a hornet's nest. I'm pretty sure we all agree on that. But, man, I can't figure out these rules. I'd love for somebody to explain it to me. I was listening to that favorite podcast of mine, Joe Rogan, once, and he was talking about the California situation where they gave him permission to watch the sunset. Wow, that's nice. Appreciate the green light on the sunset watching. That's safe. Okay, enough of that. Anyway, today, as always, or, you know, most of the time I bring Taylor Stimmel on. He's our CEO, team leader, and innovation coordinator. How you doing, Taylor?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Russ?
Good. Thanks for calling in. You know, we're all kind of still staying safe. We're starting to open up again, though. You know, it's not like we haven't been busy, is it? I mean, we're doing about a deal a day. We're growing like crazy. We got lots of new agents, coming on board. We're starting to be, actually a legitimate company after a couple years of rocking and rolling. So I thought maybe what we do is kind of break this show down into two parts. Taylor, if it's all right with you, the first part I'd like to talk about what can the consumer that's looking for real estate right now, what can we do for them from our platform at Keller Williams? And then maybe the second part, what we can do is dive into, what is real estate really all about for people that are looking for either a side hustle to make some money, because there's a lot of people suffering right now based on the furloughs that have happened, et cetera, et cetera. And then also agents that are in other companies that the ground's shaking under them a little bit, and they need somebody to kind of help, be the tip of the spear and lead them through this new land of technology, Zoom, and everything in between. And that's kind of what we specialize in, thanks to our platform at Keller Williams and a guy that owns a company that dropped, I don't know, I think he committed to $1 billion in technology money about 3 or 4 years ago. So we were perfectly situated to really help our agents win. So why don't you, Taylor, start just tell us, what is the consumer app? It's fairly new, has an artificial intelligence component. What is all that about? What does that mean to the person that's never downloaded it before?
Thanks, Russ. So I would say, to start with is everybody has their favorite real estate app. I think if you ask most people and you say, hey, what app do you use to look at real estate? You're going to get some similar answers. You're going to get some answers you've never heard before, or websites you've never heard before, but most people are using very similar apps. And so with Keller Williams, we had an app, and our old app that we had, it was starting to get old. And so one of the things that Gary did with the purchase and doing all this technology is he bought an app company that builds amazing apps, even for some of our competitors. And so he thought, I'm gonna really take this to the next level. Let's partner with Google. Let's partner with Facebook. Let's partner with Nextdoor. So if anybody listening has gotten a letter from Nextdoor about your neighborhoods, we're partners with them so that we can get to know your neighborhoods better. so that we can really help bring accurate information. So he took all of that information and he looked at some of the other apps and he said, what are they doing right? What are they doing maybe not so right? And what are things that we can add to it? And he created the KW Consumer app with over 300 technologists working on it. One of the coolest things about this app, Russ, is that we own the technology. As soon as the coronavirus started coming up and things started changing, he took the app and he said, hey, guys, to his technologists, and he said, what do we need to do to make it so that this consumer app is evolving with what's going on in the market? In any market, doesn't matter where it is. So he created a thing called Collection. So I was, talking to a client the other day, and they were like talking about all these houses that they had that they loved, and they were sending them to me out. And I said, hey, download the KW app. We can create collections on there. You can make me a collaborator, and we can write notes about every house. We can do directions to your office from it, all within the app. And so anytime they liked a house, they'd shot it over to my app. Anytime I thought, hey, guys, this would be a good house for you, it just went straight to their app, and it put it in the collection. So they were looking in 4 different locations, and I just named a collection after every single place. So they were looking in different cities. I could just say, hey, this one's perfect for this one, and I put a little note, Ashley, this is why I think that you would love this house. Brandon, this one has a great backyard, whatever it is, right? So that they could see that. So that was built right in there because it's not as easy to say, hey, let's just go meet at this house because everything's by appointment only. So he created collections in there. He also made it super robust. And so when you go into the app, the first thing that you're going to see is you're going to see your location and all the houses that are for sale around you. But next, Russ, the thing that I love that he did is he took neighborhoods. Because most of us think, hey, I would really love to live in that neighborhood over there, or I'd love to live in that neighborhood over there, or I want to know exactly what my house is worth in my neighborhood, right? And so he took it, and you'll see when you go on the app, there'll be these blue lines around different areas. And those are specific neighborhoods that have been set within the system that actually the consumer has reported and said, yes, these are our boundaries for our neighborhood. Now, let's say you live in more, rural areas, sometimes parts of Wenatchee or up in Waterville, and you can't get it. You just draw your neighborhood on the map, and it shows you everything in that neighborhood, and it saves that search for you, sends it to your agent, and your agent now knows exactly where you're looking because you drew it on there. So it's very, very user-friendly in the sense that it goes back and forth and gives the most up-to-date information. It's updating about every 11 minutes with the data.
Let me interrupt you real quick. If you're on your computer, or how would you do it on your computer?
Okay, so if you're on your computer, you can go to kw.com. You'll go to our main KW website. And as soon as you start searching in an area, it's going to say, hey, these are all the KW agents in the area. Would you like us to reach out to one? And they can send you a personalized website. So we can actually make a personalized website for every single one of our clients. If they say, hey, I only want to look in this neighborhood, I only want to look in this neighborhood, I only want to look in this zip code, or they want to draw something specific, we can make them their own personal website. And really, it takes about 5 minutes. And we can get pretty specific. Now, if you go to the actual agent that you're using, so mine is taylorstimmel.kw.com, right? So if somebody were to go to that, there's a login button up at the top. They can log in, and they can create all their own neighborhoods. They can create their own searches. They can create their own collection. And they can tell it to send me the information, and then I'll be able to collaborate with them and see what they want. So they really made it super easy to be able to go in and find what you want, make sure that's what you're seeing. Even there's even a button that you can set on there and say, hey, I'm going to drive to work, right? And if you have a longer drive, you can find all the houses that are for sale along your drive to work.
Yeah, so if you're in a neighborhood, for example, and you go, so first of all, you go to your app on your phone, the app button where you can download apps, and there's a lot of KW apps. So which one would they pick if we're going to be very specific? How would they know that that's the right one?
Yeah, so there's 2 things to that, Russ. That's an excellent question because there's 2 things. If you have a KW agent that you're working with now, ask them to send you their app because then all the information you need is already in there. Just say, hey, Sean, or hey, Stephanie, whoever it is at the office, just say, hey, can you send me over a copy of your app? We've got 60 agents right now, so pick your favorite agent, ask them. They can send you over, just share it right to your phone, then you don't have to search for anything. If for some reason you don't have an agent but you would like to download the app and start using it, you can just go to the App Store. So for iPhone users, which I am, so I'm going to talk about that one. I guess you go to the Google Play Store for Google people, and you just type in Keller Williams at the top on the search bar. And when you type in Keller Williams, there's going to be a few different apps that you can choose from. The main one is Keller Williams Realty, okay? And it will have a white border with a red KW in it. And the app name is KW Buy and Sell Real Estate. That's it. It's the top one that comes up, and you click on that and download it. And you can start using it right away. It'll have you sign in for the first time, and then you can save all your collections.
I think I might add, if people have questions, this is a good time to just interject, because sometimes, not all of us were born with a laptop in our crib. Some of us were. But, I'm not going to say how old I am, but I've been selling real estate since 1908. So I'm pretty old. Just kidding. Not quite that old. May look at it times after Corona, but, hey, not too bad. Here's what you do. If you're interested in a lot of things, including joining us as a real estate broker, learning about real estate, or if you're just a buyer or a seller that says, hey, I'm just real curious about what that Taylor Stimmel, CEO of Keller Williams Realty NCW, was talking about on that Home Sweet Home radio station. So what you can do is two things as a person out there listening. Call our office, 509-888-0038. So that's 888-0038. Leave us a message that you're interested in learning about how to search for real estate in one of the most sophisticated apps in the business. And then the other way, if you just want to send us a quick email, we'll reach out to you and we'll send you the app personally. And we have people that are monitoring this. And that's an email. It's a simple email. It's just join, JOIN, us, US. So join us at KWNCW.com. Join us at KWNCW.com. And all of a sudden, bam, you're going to get an email, a personal email from our management team that's going to set you up, and that you're going to be able to really understand when you're in a neighborhood, you want to know, what's that house worth? Boom, you can pull it up. Or you want to say, hey, I want to go on Lakefront in Chelan. You can create a collection there. Collection meaning, what is it that you want to see? Because, Taylor, we got about 30 seconds because you're calling in because we're not high-fiving. We can't give each other those eye signals that we normally do. So anyway, in the last 30 seconds, we'll come back in the next segment and talk some more about this. But at the end of the day, you're going to be able to customize this. So you don't have to go online and then scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. And by the time you're done, you need bifocals. It's real simple. You want certain types of things, our app will help you find it. Why don't in the next segment, when we come back, why don't we talk about what artificial intelligence does within those collections? What exactly does that mean? Because that word, artificial intelligence, is fairly new to all of us. Appreciate you guys tuning in. And this Saturday morning in June, we'll be back in just a few minutes with Home Sweet Home and Russ McClellan.
Home sweet home. Thanks, Keller Williams. I love my dream home.